Hey guys, how's it going? My name is John, and this is the demonstration and walkthrough of my Punk Run game that I created using C Sharp. I used the Monogame framework. So Monogame, it's just a game framework, super simple to use. So what I created is I call it Punk Run. It's this little game. It's very similar to the game when your internet's out and you have your dinosaur jumping over things. It's just like that. So let's get into it. First step to get my code and check it out for yourself is go to my GitHub, John9Francis, and you're going to find the repository called Runner Game. So click on that. And what you can do is go ahead and clone the repository onto your own computer. So you're going to go to like Visual Studio, VS Code, whatever you want to use. Just paste it in here and choose what folder you want. I personally already had it on my computer, so here you go. So here's the code. To get started, let's just run it and see what happens. Here we go. Okay, so it says welcome to Punk Run. By the way, if you hear some squawks and stuff, my baby's right there by me. So okay, welcome to Punk Run. Move with A and D and jump with space. To quit, press escape. Press enter to begin. So we're gonna start. We can move around with the A and D, jump, space. Makes this fun little jump noise. And basically, you're just trying to avoid these obstacles. And there you go, game over. Uh, shows me my score. And if I want to start again, just press R to restart. So pretty cool. Yeah, just die real quick. There we go. So let's do a quick run through my code. Should be pretty straightforward because I commented out quite a bit, but I'll just give a quick little explanation. So every mono game, first of all, starts with this file called game1. It's the main class where you put all your game stuff. And with mono game, the game1 class comes with 4 main functions. So the first one's going to be initialize. Second one's load. He's like laughing so hard over there. So initialize, load, and then there's update and draw. So they're in here somewhere. My code got a little bit more complicated over time, but here we go. So initialize, that's where I started all my things. That just happens on the first frame of the game, if I understand correctly. Load content, that's where you load any textures, like I think they're JPEG, PNG files that you can use for your little characters, your objects. And then any sounds you want to load here, and then you need to load fonts if you want to have writing on the screen, stuff like that. And then when it comes to update, this happens like once per frame, or yeah, I don't know how many frames per second it has, but every frame it's going to do this update method. And what I did personally is I have this enum variable called game state. And basically there's 3 states my game can be in. When you start it up, I'll show you real quick. It goes to the main menu game state. So instead of drawing all my objects, my player, all that stuff, it's just going to draw these words. And then the only way to switch to the next state is by pressing enter. And so that's how you're in this state. And you have different update and draw methods for the gameplay state. And then once you die, get into the end of game state. And same deal with the beginning of game state. All you got to do is just press R, and then it switches back to the game state. So hopefully that made a little sense. That's why if you look at my code, I have 3 different update functions. So my update main menu, update gameplay, which is a lot longer, and update end of game. And so in my update method, I'm just saying, hey, if the state ends up being main menu, you just want to update the main menu, and gameplay, end of game. So you get the picture, right? And then keep going down, you'll see a similar thing with draw methods. I just created my own functions for draw main menu, draw gameplay, draw end of game. So that's all for this file. And then real quick, let me show you how the rest is organized. So I created a class called game object, and this is any object I have. So that could be obstacles, the player, the road, things like that. And so what I used was inheritance. So I used inheritance to use the obstacle is a game object, and then the player is also a game object. So they act very similar, but they have their own certain things. For example, the obstacle is constantly going to be moving left, but the player moves left and right, depending on what if you press the A and D buttons. So that's kind of where that is. And then the last one, which is not super necessary, but I added it in just as a little bit of extra, is the keyboard class I created myself. Monogame does have a keyboard class, but I made a keyboard 1 class just because Monogame, it didn't seem it's kind of rough. And if you press the space bar to jump, it wouldn't play the sound of jumping unless I let go of the space. And so to get around this problem, I just created my own class and kind of did a couple quick functions to just make sure that it only plays the jump sound as I'm pressing it, and it doesn't like either continuously play it or it doesn't play it after I let go or whatever. Okay, so my baby's crying a little bit, but hopefully you get the picture of my punk run game. Again, if you want to check it out, go ahead and go to my GitHub, and thanks for watching. I'll see you later.